ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सुकृते धिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता समदर्शनलालसता अतिदीनमिमं परिपालय मां भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ॐ समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो नमः। ॐ श्रीमण्डूकमहर्षे नमः। ॐ श्रीगौडपादाचार्य सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्री आद्यशङ्करसद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्री श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। ॐ अथ अथर्ववेदान्तर्गत माण्डूक्योपनिषत् शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षवीर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः तुष्टुवागंसः तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ प्रज्ञानां सुप्रधानैः स्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्थविष्टान् पुनरपि दिशणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुग्मायया भोजयन्नः। मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परममृतमदम् अजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। यो विश्वात्मा विदिजविषयान् प्राश्य भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमतिविभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन रूपान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसौ नस्तुरीयः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ अलाथ शान्त्याख्य चतुर्थ प्रकरणम्। ॐ God, Guru, Father, may we salute ardently, seriously, sincerely. And may the grace of Lord and the Gurus make us single-pointed in pursuit of this theoretical knowledge, practice of it, as well as experience. May all our personalities be tuned for this great adventurous travel. Without Daiva Krupa, Guru Krupa, in this path of Adhyatmikata, it is so tough for us to keep away or aside or brush aside our terrible nature of worldliness at all layers of our personality, which we are carrying from so many lives. And without their Krupa, the antakarana's single pointedness to listen and understand about the truth and stand up to it also is next to impossible. So, as we are increasing our time given for the study of Shastra, so much we have to become intense in our devotion and prayer to the Lord, to the Guru, to the Shruti Mata, genuinely, from the deep core of our heart, asking them to bless us, that this endeavor should not go wasted. May we truly succeed in reaching to the goal as indicated by this great, grand, glorious Guru Parampara. Here, in this entire Upanishad, Mandukya, the Manduka Rishi in the Mula Mantras, and the Karikakara Gaudapadaji in the Karikas. Bhagavan Shankara through his Bhashyam. They were trying their best to indicate in the most best possible words the experience of liberation which they are having. And the experience of that liberation is Atmanubhuti or Brahmanubhuti. Trying to explain about it, trying to explain the glory about it, explain the freedom that he experienced at that stage. They were trying to tell us. In another aspect, what they were trying, all the three, the Rishi Manduka, the Rishi Gaudapada and Shankara, about the ephemerality or mithyatva, rather even ki unbornness of this entire world. Ajat, they were also telling us as to how to this Ajata of the Jagat. There is nothing other than Paramatma. Jagat is not born. How to understand it? With the help of Shastras, with the help of all the logics, with the help of all the Upamanas. This theory again with our own devotion, single pointedness, plus we have to practice it and we have to work out in us to reach to the stage where Gaudapada and Adi Shankara are there in terms of their experience of the real self and also in terms of absolute nastitva or at the most mithya of this jagat. Then, like they are in a state of freedom from all limitations, we will also experience that freedom. On the whole, this Mandukya Upanishad Jnanam should become our Jnanam. That type of affinity, that type of feeling with this knowledge, with the practice, with the experience, we have to and we must consciously develop in ourselves. If that is not done, then the Upanishad and Upanishads Brahma Vidya always remains an objective knowledge of which we only have an academic study and information. No use at all of that knowledge in our life. Thus, our life never gets transformed. We continue to remain as same Baddha Jiva even after studying the Upanishads. To put in simple words, it is me, my life. It is me, I am bound. It is me, I have to get out of all these bondages. For that, it is me who have to do sadhana. And the sadhana, this is done by me, is guided, inspired by the great rishis through these Upanishads. Therefore, my gurus have taught me this Upanishad for my own sake. So I own this Upanishad. I feel that oneness and affinity with the jnanam given in this Upanishad. I will repeatedly listen. I will repeatedly study. I will deeply contemplate and I will exhaustively practice what is said. And then I will experience what is indicated. This type of feeling. And this is so true everywhere, in whichever the field, We want to enjoy, we want to achieve, we want to perform. That type of affinity is required. It can be in your friendship, in your business, in your relativity, wherever. This also a business, final business of liberation. Here also you have to develop that feeling. In the beginning, to the truth as it is my goal, then toward the Guru and Guru Parampara, that they are the only guidance, toward the Shastra, that this is the only thing which is there for remind me of the truth again and again, a reference guide. Then towards my own self, how long I will be living this life of bondage, let me experience the freedom, liberation. Let me try to the best of my ability. In this way, fully the one who is engrossed in these type of thoughts, these type of practices, I think he can proceed towards the goal consistently. Now, in this recent portion, Bhagwan Karika Kara trying his best to explain to us in nutshell, as if in the summary only, the entire theory to be understood and entire practice also to be done. Especially these 88, 89, 90, 91 mantras. That 89th mantra we exhaustively studied. Jnanecha trividhe gneye kramena vidite swayam sarvagnata hi sarvatra bhavatiha mahadhiyaha. With the help of Bhashya, as deep we become in the understanding of this mantra, then what exactly is indicated by the Shastra as sadhana, we will be able to comprehend, understand it. Jnane cha gneye kramena abhavam društva tesham. With our Sakshi Bhava and Drashta Bhava, disinterestedness, born out of Vairagya, because you have done the Viveka, that not only these are all unreal and mithya, but when they are given value important, they bind us. They take away our Atma Anubhuti, Mukti Anubhuti, Ananda Anubhuti. With these understandings, when we devalue and thus see the abhava of them deeply in our understanding, though they appear, just like mirage water is seen by the eye, but in the deep understanding, it is so clear about the abhava of that. Because in this desert, how can there be water, river? Or on this road, when we are in the road traveling in the exactly afternoon time, we can see in front of us the tar road looks to be having water. The mirage water of the desert or this is one and the same. Eyes are looking at it, but absolutely we are so clear that it is absolutely non-existent. The non-existent aspect of the water there is in our own inner conviction. Even though to the eyes the water is seen, water-like aspect is seen. So too, in the deep core of our heart, for the eyes and the mind, or for the senses and the mind, the mirage water-like world may appear. But because of the deep contemplation, deep inquiry, based on what was taught in this entire Upanishad, heart in heart, we have totally disregarded the world to be existing at all, world to be real at all. It's no more. That is called as the abhava. That's what he said again, abhavena, abhavena. This is has to be achieved. This was the entire heavy struggle Karikakara was going through, along with him the Shankara, Bhashyakara, to explain to us, to teach us, to train us in. Like when the commandant trains the army person joined recently in every aspect. When he is trained in the aspect of left and right, that march, what is expecting from that person? He walks so pakka straight in line with all other soldiers along with you, that it shows your perfect fitness to take the command and walk towards the place where you have to work. So too when they are given that rifle and the bullets and taken to that range and trained to use and shoot it. First at 10 meters, then 20 meters, then 30, then the 90 meters. What they are aiming at? They are aiming at or expecting from us, if we are the soldier, that even the 10 rounds are given to us, all the 10 we are hitting at the bullseye. Do you understand that? In the same way, what's Karika Kara and Shankara expecting from us? Having taught 215 mantras of Karika and 12 of the main mantra, is this one, Tadabhava. So much of deep contemplation, where through all the logic, we have come to the foremost conviction that though this the world is appearing or seen, yet it is pakka not there. And we know it won't happen overnight. It is a months and years together of conscious, deliberate, serious practice of contemplation we do, keeping ourselves in that vivikta sthana, a secluded place, not giving importance to anything. You know, that sarvadharman pariteja bhava ke baad hi, when we take up Mandukya Upanishad and study one by one shloka and the logic that is explained, that we come to the level expected by this Karikakara and Bhashyakara. What is that? Tadabhava, Tadabhava, Tadabhava. The theory is as real and the practical is so real and the experience is ultimately real. It's not majak, it is not joke, it is not time pass, it is not an information, it is not a theory, it is not just some logic, it's not just some obligation, it's not just an information. No, no. It is pakka to be experienced only. It should be like this ki, yes, I am seeing the world through my indriyas, but pakka I know that the world is not existing. I am seeing the water in the mirage, but pakka I know that there is no water. I am seeing the ornaments, but I know there is no ornament, there is only gold. But ornaments are used on the body looking very decorative. Maybe I am not interested. You may have interest, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested in every aspect of it. That the gold is made as ornaments and they are put at different parts of the body and that is adding beauty to the person who is wearing them. I'm not interested in them. I am seeing only the gold. I can't be interested in them because gold is important to me, not these appearances. These are all samsara. It is endless craving. So much of comparison, competition. ये सब होता है इसमें. I am not. I have transcended all that. I went through. I transcended. In the same way, that to the heart when we take the study of Mandukya Upanishad and shloka by shloka, theme by theme, prakarana by prakarana when we study, toward the end, this is the stage we come to. Tadabhavena. Tadabhavena. And for that, what deeply helps us is the Alatha Spandana, Nirmita, Abhasas. And Alatha Spandana is stopped, then all the Abhasas are disappeared. That example, 100,000 times when we contemplate, then just like that also, Chitta Spandana, Jagadabhasa. Chitta Spandana stopped, there is no Jagat. When you take the alatha in the hand and move the fire band, you will see the shapes. Stop it, shapes are gone. Practically done. In the same way, at the practical level now, Nirantara Spandana, the chitta is in, which is giving abhasa to the Jagrat Swapna Jagat, Stula Sukshma Jagat, which are abhasa. Just like we stopped the fire band from its spandana, try to achieve the stoppage of the spandana of the chitta with all the sadhanas. For doing so, Your puja will help, your japa will help, your all practices of concentration will help. Karma yoga, Ashtanga yoga are required to remove the vasanas. Of course, we should feel first of all that these are vasanas which are creating spandana in chitta, because of which the non-existing world is appearing. Therefore, I must eliminate vasanas. The the conviction should be there. Accordingly, through karma bhaktyadi, when all the forcing aspects of vasanas also are eliminated, everything is required. Elimination of vasana, chittavritti nirodha. Chittavritti nirodha is habitual formation of thoughts in the chitta is arrested. Half of it is done by removing the vasanas. Remaining half is done by not giving value or reality to the world or not desiring anything. So vasana removal, chittavritti nirodha, full single pointed concentration, and holding on to your breath. Because, like in Bhagavatam, again and again, whenever the Indriyas mana has to be controlled, the topic of pranayama comes there. With pranayama, also to some extent, Indriyas are niyantrita, chitta is niyantrita. All of them are required. Sab ka madad lekar, finally we achieve the stoppage of spandana of chitta. This is called samadhi. At that level, we can see the abhava of the Jagra Swapna. Then, what is there is always there and is experienced, and that is the Paramatma, that is the Atma, that is me, real, that's the Brahma. That is what is said in the year Shloka, Jnane cha trivide gneye, okay, Kramena. Then what will happen? Swayam vidite. Then you will know yourself. There, the knowing is being. You are not knowing yourself as a knower, and the self is not an object of knowledge like known other than you. No. The Vidite Swayam is a very beautiful word. There, the self knows itself. That self is me only. So, I know myself undoubtedly. Not in the manner of other knowledges where the Triputi of Jnata, Jnanam, Gnayam are there. Here, I am the Jnata, I am the Gnayam, I am the Jnanam. This is the only way the words can be used to explain. All other words, whatever the words you use, you feel what it feels like. And that experience would be even beyond feelings. मैं मेरे आप अपने आप को जानता हूँ, मैं अपने आप को पाता हूँ, मैं अपने आप बन जाता हूँ. Whatever the language you use, whichever suits you, but that's what it is. That's the meaning of Vidite Swayam. In any words you can explain it, sir. I can use three words. Sarva, Jna, Sarvatra. Sarvajnata hi sarvatra bhavati ha mahadiya. To such Mahadi who has really done lives together, single pointed mission. There is no other mission other than discarding all the three avasthas and establishing myself. दूसरा काम लिया ही नहीं वो बंदा. That Mahadhi who pursued it like that for a long time, when he is reached, it is Sarvajnatvam. What is Sarvajnatvam? Sarvam Eka Jnapti Swarupa Anubhava Eva. Actually, even Sarvam world is not there. Word. Only Jnapti Swarupa. That's what Pratyabhigna is called. Jnapti is pure experience of awareness. That awareness in some time place called as consciousness. It's called Chiti or Chittu. What anything it can be. But it is pure awareness, in whose awareness everything was seen earlier, though it was not there. The word Sarva is added for your sake. Because you are not the level of world where you see the everything. From that standpoint, it is said all that is known as Jnapti Swarupa, consciousness. And the word Sarvatra also is redundant, but that also is explained for the sake of the disciple. The Sarvatra means Sarva Desheshu, Sarva Kaleshu, Sarva Vastushu. That is called Sarvatra. In all this Kala Vastu, whatever is there, that is called Sarva. Jna means that is only pure consciousness. In the high space, when you go, there is nothing other than space. When you go deep into the ocean, there is nothing other than the water. So, when you enter into the discovery of self, there is nothing other than the self, whose nature is depth is Swarupa. And it is, therefore, it is Sat Swarupa, pure Sat and Chit. That is the ultimate goal. In that Sat and Chit, for some reason, when there is disturbance, the entire world is appearing. Just like some disturbance in the water, appearance of wave. So real the wave appears to be. And we get emotional. It is so enchanting. We start reveling in that and start talking about it, discussing about it, writing poems on that. On what? Wave. What is that? Nothing but the water disturbed. So too in this world, whatever the descriptions are there of the world, what is the poetry that is written about the world, whatever the scientific inquiries that are happening and discoveries that are made in this world, all of them are of that world, which is unreal, non existing, disturbance on the conscious self. The sun, moon, stars, which we see, the rivers, mountains, which we see, all of them are the consciousness disturbed or manifesting, all of them appearing. It's all process we study in Bhagavata, the Purana more exhaustively. They're all high level of rishis and munis. The Maitreya rishis, the Veda Vyasa, they're all cosmic beings, they're all. Their descriptions are very high level. Oh, this is how they say the pure conscious self, his own power Maya, and from there comes the time, and in the time is created the space, and in the time and space, the Maya alone again creates the entire objective world, or appears as. And when the time and space concepts are made, they are unlimited. There is unlimited space, unlimited time. In those unlimited space and time, their combination only with the power of Maya, from where all the Pancha Mahabhutas, etc., express, the rupas are created, forms. The form can be as microbe as a small unicellular organism. The form can be as big as the sun, but they are only forms. Doesn't matter the size of them. And to those forms, the names are given. Sun is said to be 108 times bigger than the Earth. But there in the galaxy, there are other suns who are thousands of times bigger even than the sun. And the Nataka of those bigger stellar consonants with inner bang getting broken and becoming small, and again they coming together, again united to become bigger, ये सब नाटक होता ही रहता है. देखो कपड़े से ना जब शर्ट बनाते हैं, होल क्लॉथ it is cut tuck 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 depending on requirement, that you have to make a collar, you have to make the hands, and then again it is stitched. One big cloth is made small, again it is stitched to make a shirt. In the same way, the big things get broken to become small, small things come together to become bigger. All this tamasha is happening in the rupas. For them, the names are given. The rupa nama are belonging to the vastus. Vastus are nothing but the solidified space and time. Space and time are the concept of the mind, antakarana. Mind is the expression of Maya. Maya is nothing existing. And what is there, therefore, is only supreme truth or reality or Paramatma. But in him, the entire thing is happening. Drama. Happening without happening. Is it not? To that highest conviction we have to rise to. intellectual. Then the meditation becomes so pakka that we are able to really transcend all the appearances of Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti. That's called as Abhava, Abhava, Abhava. Then what is there eternally? The Bhavata of Bhavatmakata of the Atma, Paramatma, Self, Brahma, you will experience. This Atma, Paramatma, Self, Brahma, these are all the words we use, names we give it to that. It has no name, it has no quality. The Sat, Chit words also the names we give to it for our own transaction purpose, communication purpose. But in that experience, all words are invalid, all measurements are invalid, all descriptions are invalid, all intellectual concepts are invalid. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. See this sloka, every day we need to contemplate. Jnane cha trividhe gneye kramena vidite swayam sarvagnata hi sarvatra bhavati mahadiyah. This is where every jiva will have to evolve finally to end his travel and journey. To each jiva, how many million light years time it will take, how many Srushti Sthiti Pralayas take, it all depends. Among so many jivas, you and I are one. At our level, we are at this level of inner knowledge and this level of our outer life. From here to reach to that, what we have to do? What we have to do immediately? This much we have to focus on. Immediately, what we have to do is thoroughly understand Mandukya Upanishad. Then try to slowly dissolve the reality given to the Jagrat, to the psychological worlds. Devalue them. This takes some 5-6 lives to devalue the Jagrat Swapna as unwanted or unreal or non-required. You can see some people in this world. They're not interested at all in any aspect of the world. अब कुछ भी करो उनको इंटरेस्ट होता ही नहीं बस. They look like very lazy also. There are already lazy people also are there. We're not talking about them. These nirlipta people. So they were at our stage some 10 lives back. In 10 lives, they worked so hard that in this life they came to a level of devaluing the world. They don't own any things, any beings. They're not interested in any emotions, any relativity, any transaction. They're there. We are surprised. पागल है क्या ऐसा क्यों है? No, he is correct. We are पागल. For him now next, once he has devalued the world, then the Tattva Upadesha, when Guru gives him, then he'll be able to contemplate on that, he realizes it. So for us, immediately, Mandukya thoroughly understood, then the devaluation of Jagara Swapna or Stula Sukshma Jagat we have to do. In the devaluation of Stula Sukshma, genuinely, with the logic, willingly, the Karana Sharira Sthita Vasanas also go away. Then, ultimately, only on the seat of Dhyanam, the Atma Vidya removes the Avidya. I don't know myself is removed only by I know myself. But before doing that, I know myself, whatever the self which I consider myself as now, the Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, Purusha, we have to reject them. To reject them, what is binding us? All the enchantments of the world. They we have to devalue. How to devalue them? By dosha drushti, by pratibhaksha bhavana, by telling us that they are all limiting me, binding me. I must come out of all these bondages. There's so many Mahatmas, great rishis, they have reached to that height. I also have to reach. All these things, जैसे बच्चों को समझाने के लिए आप जो लॉजिक यूज करते हो, जो एग्जाम्पल यूज करते हो, whatever works you use. So to whatever works, collect all the data and whatever works, you use that and devalue the world. Then only we can devalue the avasthas. Then only we can deeply contemplate and reach to that self. The yogyata to reach to the self will come to us only when you have devalued three avasthas. Three avasthas are devalued when the contents of the three avasthas are devalued. For that, so much of Shravanam, Mananam, along with some common sense points. Ki, how much ever in your contemplation you devalue, still physically, if you are in front of the world will enchant you. Again, you get the value about it. इसलिए सारे इंद्रिय मनों को भी बंद करना ही पड़ता है till the self is known. At one stage, one has to do that. Else, the Maya is so powerful. The moment you open your eyes, you see the world, you start commenting it, it starts becoming Vasana. You understand? Again, the Chitta Spandana happens, then the entire world is taken as real. Then some relativity is established. Kshan mein turant, just like you see a person, unstoppably, immediately, some comment about that person happens. Good or bad or what he is. A agitation immediately happens in the mind. You may not specify it sometimes. Sometimes more conspicuous it is. If it is already person related or you are in a mood of something that time. You are walking in a beach. So depending on mood, whatever you see there creates impression. But without impression, it can't be. Is it not? When you see the river, ocean there, you see the other people there, you see the ice cream रेडी वहाँ, whatever, कुछ भी आप देखते हो, तुरंत कुछ तो thought आएगा. That's how when you are in proximity with the world physically, immediately the mind gets agitated. Knowing this, that great grand sadhaka, that's why it's called Mahadhiyaha. वो एक्चुअली ना उसमें क्या होता है, एज आई एक्सप्लेन डे बिफोर टुडे, द एंटायर शब्द स्पर्श रूप रसगंध आर manifestation of the indriyas. Indriyas are manifestation of mana. Having known this, he will never even come to the level of indriya and objects also. He is only maintaining himself at the mana level. In that mana, he is only contemplating to reject the manasika jagat. And in the through the mind's understanding only, he is trying to convince about the ultimate self or the truth. बाकी दुनिया का उनको होश ही नहीं होता, ध्यान में ये करना होता. मतलब you must know all this, and when you really sit for dhyana or when your desire to know the truth becomes stronger and stronger, how to do when question comes, this is how it is. All these are hidden in the words of Shankara and Karika. We should be able to trace them out. Otherwise, jnanena vidite gneye kramena, wherein tadabhava tadava he said, it is not as easy as he said. उसको अचीव करना है, एंड फॉर अचीव करना कैसे करना है जानना है. दीज आर द टेक्निक्स. सर्वज्ञता ही सर्वत्र भवति है महाधेय. For that, one important thing what helps is analyzing the life which we are living in present. What is the life we are living in present? Misunderstanding first of all about ourselves as an ego and jiva. Then misusing our mana intellect to gather the knowledge of the world. The knowledge of the world is wrong because world itself is unreal. And on that world which is perceived, we are continuously projecting, imagining the reality, the goodness, the enjoyability, and then creating all the emotions of the attachments and all. So, in this very funny drama of so many episodes or chaos we are in, that we have to understand first of all. That itself takes lot of time. It's a personal exercise. Like I am in this world as a human being with this mind intellect living in front of you now, taking a text and talking on that. No, yes, sir, whatever justification you give, that's apart. But all of that is in manipulation only. It's all which is real in this. Nothing is real, nothing is important. सारा मन के संकल्प से मैं कर रहा हूँ. This is our samsara, and our own samsara before and after class is something different, but that is another samsara. Is it not? I enter into my upasana and puja. That is my samsara I created. You do your samsara, your children, breakfast, lunch, dinner. ये सारे इतने हम इसमें सत्य बनाकर बैठे रहते हैं कि वो सत्य दिखता भी है और इसमें सत्य छुप ही जाता है. This we have to feel. This we have to understand. One day, then only the willingness to rise above that will come. Such person only called as true Vairagi. Then he is not interested in them. Just such person, you imagine, Even to survive, whenever food is required, once in 3 4 days, he'll take little bit back to his own meditation contemplation. Therefore, all that will be done only when I know the self alone is true and real. Everything is unreal, and unreal is the one which is binding. I have to get liberation. When in these 3 4 basic things I am pakka, then only I will be able to do that. परमात्मा ही सत्य है नहीं जानोगे तो उनको पाने का कोशिश नहीं होता. जगत असत्य मिथ्या बंधन कारण है. If this is not convinced about, we don't leave this jagat. We will be interested in that only. Now, from all this standpoint, do you understand at what a child level or LKG level we are in our study, understanding, and practice? We're at very minimum level. So, how much distance we have to cross? For that, how much have to be गंभीर. गंभीर है तो साधना होता है, साधना होता है तो गंभीरता आ जाता है. This is was sloka. Now, in the next 90th one, half of it yesterday we saw, what a beautiful, complete sloka it is. This is a theory, fact, and this is a practice also, and this is the experience also. Both these 89, 90 are the gems of slokas. Like in earlier prakaranas, we saw some gems of slokas at their own level. Yaha to towards completion. So, heya, gneya, apya, pakyani, vigneyani, agrayanataha, tesham अन्यत्र विज्ञेयात उपलम्बः त्रिषु स्मृतः. पढ़ो सब लोग 3 बार. हेयाग्नेयाप्यपाक्यानि विज्ञेयान्यग्रयाणतः तेषामन्यत्र विज्ञेयात् उपलम्भस्त्रिषु स्मृतः. हेयाग्नेयाप्यपाक्यानि विज्ञेयान्यग्रयाणतः तेषाम् अन्यत्र विज्ञेयात् उपलम्भस्त्रिषु स्मृतः. हेयाग्नेयाप्यपाक्यानि विज्ञेयान्यग्रयाणतः तेषाम् अन्यत्र विज्ञेयात् उपलम्भस्त्रिषु स्मृतः. This is a theory, there is a practice, this is experience. First of all, we explained yesterday, agrayanataha vigneyani. First and foremost, undoubtedly, convincingly, we must thoroughly understand. This is the meaning of agrayanataha. Yana means travel. Agra means in your travel of spiritual journey, agra means first and foremost. Vigneyani should be known. Agrayanataha vigneyani. First and foremost, these 4 have to be known. And the beauty of Karika is what 4 have to be known. While naming itself, in the name itself, what is to be done is said. In the name itself, what is done is said. What is to be done is said. So, the name of the things which we have to know, the name of the 4 things which we have to know, in the name itself, what is to be done also is given. That is the beauty. 4 things you have to know. Like, 4 people you have to know. So, these are the 4 names. But when the names are told, what to do with them is not told. But here, 4 things to be known said, while naming them in the name only, what is to be done is explained. So, he is cutting short. He is putting few words and conveying maximum. So, what is the first thing to be known? Heyam. See, by saying you have to know the Heyam, it is already indicated in that Heyam is to be given up. So, know about what is the things to be given up. That is the meaning of Heyani Vigneyani Agrayanataha. Heyani Vigneyani Agrayanata means you must know the things which have to be given up. Or you must know those things. And those things, once you know that they have to be given up. Heyani Vigneyani. Heya means to be given up ruthlessly. Second one is what? Gneyani, Vigneyani. Explained we yesterday very exhaustively. Again, we are reminding today. Gneyani, Vigneyani means what is to be known, we have to know. And in that Gneyani, it is said that it is to be known only. You need not do anything about it. There's no doing in that. Knowing itself is doing there. And the doing of knowing leads to being. So क्या छोड़ना है जानना है, मतलब वो चीजों को जिसको छोड़ना है आप जानते हो, उसको छोड़ना है. क्लियर? सेम वे क्या जानना है जानना है. फिर जिस चीज को जानना है उसको जानना है. जिसको जानना था उसको जानना है. See the words there he is using. Heyani, knowing them and do the heya of that. I give you example of the things to be thrown or removed from the suitcase when you are in a tour, when somebody packed at home. Heyani, not required. You know it and only you know it to know that it is rejectable and reject. In the same way, in our now common experience, these are the things. You know them to be rejected items and then reject them. हे या नहीं है उसको जानो छोड़ दो. Like when you are served with food, dal, sabji, कुछ भी, तो you will see in that some हे या नहीं कम. कोई हरी मिर्च हो सकता है कि जो कड़ी पत्ता है, whatever he feels. He searches, he knows, he sees, he takes it and throws it. Mhm. I am explaining the meaning of the words first. Then what are they? Bhashyakara is saying us half of it visa. Second, gneyani. They have to be known. Those things which have to be known, actually it's one thing only. There, the knowing is being, because that knowing is about your being only. Mhm. This is in fact the essence of the Mula mantras, the 12 of them in the Agama Prakarana, and it is a final conclusion of what is to be understood and done in the last three Prakaranas of Advaita, ALAATHA, Shanti and Vaitatya. सबका सहारा है ये. हे यानी जो छोड़ना है जानकर उसको छोड़ना है. ज्ञेयानी जिसको जानना है उसको जानना है. थर्ड वन इज आप्यानि. To do the heya and jnaya, to do the heya of the heya, to have the jnana of the jnana, we have to have some qualifications, some abilities. They are called as apyani. In those apyani, be attentive. There are some practices. Those practices take us to a state of being. From that state of being, we will be able to do the heyani, vijnayani. That's called as apyani. They are the things we have to obtain. Those obtained are the practices leading us to the qualification. Qualification for do the heyam and gneyam. And there are some things which are in us because of which we are not able to do the heyam of the heyam and gneyam of the gneyam. Those things have to slowly cooked and dissolved and thrown away. That's called as pakyani. पकाकर पचाकर उसको फेंक दो. Is it not? So simple words में दुर्गुणों को फेंक दो, सद्गुण को ले आओ, तीनों अवस्थाओं को हे करो, आत्मा को ज्ञेय करो. Simple words. We'll see it through the bhashya. And this feeling we should have, it's not an intellectual understanding. Vedanta is not intellectual understanding. Vedanta is trying to be. Then trying goes away, you just be. Not even becoming. Not theory it is, not an understanding. The only thing in Vedanta which an understanding will never help you unless you be in that one without second. You are tuned to that. It's not understanding, it's an experience. Like Vairagya. It's not understanding, it's an experience. Bhakti, it is not an intellectual understanding, it's an experience. Guru Sharanagati, it's not a word, it's an experience. I have surrendered to my Guru. In the same way, if these four things are experienced in us, so words are explained. Heya gneyapya bhakyani vijnayani agriyanata. 50% of information is this. And the answer is given to the question asked by Purvapakshi in the second line. He said, these three avasthas ityadi, by becoming sakshi, etc., You have to find their abhava, you said. Means at least at the sadhana kala, therefore they are real. Because you told that you have to become witness to them, or you have to see their abhava, or they are understood as vigneya, things to be known. Second line says, no, tesham anyatra vigneyat. Among these four things which you have known, among four, other than the second thing which is called Gneya or Vigneya, Trishupalambha Smrutaha, all other threes are only the means for sadhana, but they are not real. If you take them as real, then sadhana also becomes samsara there. This is only Upalambha. Upalambha we saw already. Upalambat, Samacharat, Maya Hasti Yatochyate. Maya Hasti, because of Upalamba, there is availability, and Samachara, some involvement in that. Therefore, the Hati appearing, but not realities. And to have the Upalamba and Samacharata, Hati need not be there. That was the topic that dealt there. Like a Mayavi creates and shows us an elephant, which is not there, but seen by the people. And he also shows himself climbing that elephant, controlling the elephant, make the elephant dance. So all व्यवहार तो हो रहा है, दिख रहा है लोगों को, yet वो नहीं है. Therefore उपलम्ब समाचार is there, yet elephant is not there. For the appearance of Upalamba Samachara, elephant's existence is not required. That is the magician's magic. So to the entire world is seen, called as Upalambata. And we do all Vyavahara in the world. That's called as Samachara. Yet, like that elephant, the world is not at all there. That was the idea of that sloka there. That's the purpose. Means what? Just you are seeing, just you are perceiving, just you are interacting, even just because you are experiencing, yet it is not real. You can't give it reality status. क्योंकि भ्रांतिजन्य वस्तुओं का भी अनुभव होता है. Like sunrise, you are experiencing it, but it is not real. Sun is not rising, earth is moving. You see the sky blue. You see, but sky is never blue, because sky is not such a thing that it can be painted or colored and shown as blue. It's an endless thing. It's going on, going on, going on. वहाँ कोई चीज है ही नहीं जिसको आप ब्लू कलर पेंट करते हो, बट यू सी इट. No, this is how through examples and logic we become subtle in understanding the subtle things. That Upalamba word he is using here. Anyatra vigneya trishu upalambha smrutaha. They are only seen, not real. You gave reality and you are caught up. And while doing sadhana also, you are seeing them. And again to discover their non-reality. Here the Purvapakshi is seeing these three avasthas. Siddhanti is seeing these three avasthas. Purvapakshi is seeing the three avasthas to give them reality and thus hide the real self. The Siddhanti is also taking the example of these three avasthas only for the sake of disciple, but not to give them reality and hide the self, but show that the reality, the three worlds are unreal, three avasthas. Thus, the reality is realized. This is the difference between these talking about the three avasthas by the Siddhanti, the Advaita Siddhanti, and also by the Purvapakshi who is in samsara. Therefore, Vigneya Vastu, Paramatma alone is real. Paramartha Sattu, other three are only Upalambha. Because you are living at that level, and from that level only I have to guide you. So, for the sake of you, I said, ki they are there, you just to become aware of them so much that slowly each one of them are merging, the gross and subtle, etc. So that the abhava of them are found. And all of that is what? Never possible at the Indriyas level. आंख खोलते हो तो दुनिया दिखेगा ही आपको, ना दुनिया जला जाएगा. अगर आंख ठीक है तो दुनिया दिखे बिना नहीं रहता. Then where do we reject the world? not at the eye level. You reject it in your own understanding level. The deep, that's how the understanding of the truth and the world to be unreal through all the examples and logics. Is it not? Like an object you take. Now you will not break every one of them and show the atom to everyone. It remains as a big solid object only. But understanding is very clear. Ki it is not real. What is real is the finermost particles in it called as the atoms. You see the object, you use the object, but still a physicist knows that it is nothing but the atoms. Let us stay at the atom level. You go further, the atomic particles inside, finally energy in motion, thereafter no thing. एग्जाम्पल समझने के लिए हमको यहाँ वो जानता है कैसे आंखों से जानता है क्या विद द आई तो ही सीइंग ऑब्जेक्ट ओनली बट विद द इंटेलेक्चुअल आई which studied the physics is saying that it is a combination of molecules which is combination of atoms. In fact, whatever solid the thing is looking nothing but atoms together. Is it not? That way, if you see the entire earth, how much or big it is in its size, nothing but the atoms put together. You don't see the atom, but you know it's an intellectual understanding. एक एक परमाणु मिलकर ही ये अणु बनते हैं. ये अणुओं के मिलना से पदार्थ बनते हैं. Physics reached up to that level. The spiritual gurus have gone beyond atom. They spoke from the Atma Vastu standpoint. They're speaking from experience level. Before experience level, the highest logic level, and sometimes logic doesn't work. Therefore, experience born quotation of Shastra and sadhana in the Shastra. Then that sadhana, when it is done, experience comes. One need not logically think. Is it not? What logic is required for you to experience the sweetness? Nothing. The theory that the sweet is very tasty, practice you put it in the tongue. कोई लॉजिक है क्या उसमें? जरूरत है क्या लॉजिक का? नो, यू पुट इन द टंग, यू एंजॉयड इट. हर जगह जरूरत नहीं है लॉजिक का. अनुभव के लिए लॉजिक नहीं चाहिए. साधना काल में फॉर साधना टू इंस्पायर एज द लॉजिक इज रिक्वायर्ड. सम प्लेसेस लॉजिक डोंट वर्क. You just do it, it will happen. That's it. In the same way, in Shastras, to some extent, the logic explanations are given. Some places, logic won't work there. Instead of helping you, it only troubles you. Like all the Nastikas. They are using very powerful tool called as logic. But that is making them go away from Paramatma only. Pagal love. They will never understand it. Sometimes logic is detrimental also. That is why Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya Dustarka Suviramyatam Shutimatas Tarkonusandhyatam. And those places for the time being keep the logic aside. देखो जहाँ तक लॉजिक ले जाता है जाओ, वहाँ के बाद फेथ आपको ले जाता है जाओ. फेथ भी काम नहीं आता. आपको फेथफुली काम जो साधना कहते हैं करना पड़ता है. उस पे आप एंटर करोगे तो एक्सपीरियंस आता. इन दैट करने में दो ही चीजें हैं, रिजेक्ट द वर्ल्ड एंड एक्सेप्ट द परमात्मा. व्हेन इट इज डन, rejected world disappears, accepted Paramatma experiences. Because the world is unreal, it will rejected, it will go away. Self being reality, you will experience it. So total sloka understood. Niheya, Gneya, Heya, Gneya, Apya, Pakyani, Vignayani, Agrayanataha. Your intellect should be thorough in the understanding of these four things. And do the sadhana in them. हे को हे कर दो, ज्ञेय को जान लो, आप्य को आप्य करो, पाक्य को पाक्य करो. All of that will give you sadhana. Now your question I am answering, which is a totally different topic. First line is a sadhana aspect. Second line in this sloka is an answer to his question. What is the question? Do you mean to say therefore these three avasthas are real? No, 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 my dear friend. Other than Vigneya Atma, all of three have the Upalamba status. The Upalamba status are, they are for Vyavahara. Second, they are for the sake of sadhana because you are at that level. But other than that, they are not real. साधना की नहीं वो कह रहे हैं आपको, क्योंकि आप उस लेवल पे हो। इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो रियल सीख कि स्वीकार किया जा रहा है हम अद्वैत इनसे। नो, वी आर नॉट टेकिंग देम एज रियल. So the tiger woke you up from the sleep. So is the tiger real because it woke you up? It woke us up. We used the tiger for waking us up. And tiger was chasing also in the dream. But it is chasing us in the dream to wake up from the dream. But when we wake up, there is no tiger. When we wake up, there is no tiger. Tiger was there when we were not waken up in the dream. To wake up, it was there. It doesn't mean it is real. ध्यान से देना इस बात को. आप देखो, आईने को देखकर अपने चेहरा ठीक कर दो. डजंट मीन द रिफ्लेक्शन इन द आईना इज रियल. इट वाज यूजफुल. Without the mirror we can't set us up, but everybody does it every day 24 hours. बट उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि जो रिफ्लेक्टेड है उसमें मिरर में रिफ्लेक्शन रियल थोड़ी है वो. यूज को आया वो, लेकिन रियल नहीं. Interesting point. So these are the subtle logics which will take us to the higher level of understandings. Remember, we are in some powerful notions which are helping us in Vyavahara. Mind you, the Vyavahara itself is binding because it is a samsara. Then we must know that these are the notions which are helpful Vyavahara. Vyavahara itself is wrong thing, therefore these notions we have to drop. Such logical thinkings make us drop these notions. With that, Vyavahara also devalued. This is how few of the examples we are giving last 5-10 minutes. Upalamba Shabda we are explaining. So, Anyatra Vignayat Trishu Upalambah Smrutah Shastreshu Mahanubhavaihi. All the three are not real. It is an Upalamba. So, the Gneya Vastu Paramartha Patma alone is real. The Heya, Apya, Pakya are only for Upalamba. Yesterday we explained to you the gas stove, the burner, the lighter, the utensils, the tawa ityadi, and the ladle. Here all heya, apya, pakya. But food alone is gneya. You eat food, you don't eat all of them. But they were helpful. They are not real. Really consumable goods. Now we will see the bhashya. 50% we saw, other 50 will see. Heyani cha. What are the things that are coming under the category of the word heya? Laukikadini. So the heya word itself gave us the meaning that they have to be rejected. So laukikadini means laukika, shuddha laukika, lokottara. That is jagra sapna sushupti. Then example Bhagwan gave logic कि रज्जु में सर्प के समान ये असत्य होने के कारण इनको आप रिजेक्ट करना है. Now here one little drama is always there for every seeker. The guru is seeing the truth. For him, these three avasthas are not at all there. The shishya is in these three avasthas and therefore he is not able to reach the self. Guru says, drop these three avasthas, then you will see the self. Shishya says, show me the self, then I will drop the three avasthas. One has seen the rope, for him there is no snake. Other is seeing the snake, therefore he is not able to see the rope. The rope seeing Guru says, drop the snake, you will see the rope. But the snake seeing person says, show me the snake, then I will drop the show me the rope, I will drop the snake. This drama always is there. Everywhere this we do. Let that person talk, then I will talk. Let him ask, then I will give. You don't ask. That fellow also says कि मैंने नहीं पूछ, वो पूछ नहीं रहे तो मैं क्यों दूं? दोनों तरह से होता है. मैं नहीं पूछूंगा, उसको देना है. वो कहते हैं क्यों मैं दूं बिना पूछे? These are all play of ego in the samsara also. Nonsense है वो. You need the thing, you ask. You feel that person needs it, you give it. Why do you make it an issue? Like in a hotel when you order food. You ordered it, therefore he gave. You don't order water there. He gives it because it did not be ordered. It is to be given. You will not have an ego कि you order but I will not give. How can I obey your order? Ego नहीं होता. He is meant for that person. Order दिया, menu card देखकर he brings. सेकंड, वाटर इन्होंने नहीं पूछा मैं क्यों दूं, नहीं होता है, वाटर देना ही पड़ता है वहां. इट्स अ कॉमन सेंस. But we don't understand it in our life. Same nature we hold on to in spirituality also. And what we have to do, that we don't do. And what we should experience, we say it should happen. Hota nahi ho. No, we have to reach to the state of Guru where he is experiencing self, the Jagat is not there. So he tells you drop the Jagat and you experience self. Therefore, it is our need, therefore we have to follow what he says. What is said here? These three avasthas are heya. Because they are asattva, like the sarpa and the rajju. Why problem with the guru is what? Or guru for the guru with the shishya is what? He want to show the rope, but this fellow is not dropping the snake. जो तुम पकड़े हो उसको छोड़ोगे तो भी ये जो दूसरा बंदा दिखा रहा है उसको आप देख सकते हो ना. Now, very crucial thought here is one. We are holding on to these three avasthas as if they are real, like that person is holding on to the snake. See, the problem is what? There is no rope somewhere else other than where you are seeing snake. अगर ऐसा होता चलो बेटा तुम पकड़ ले अपने सांप को, मैं दूसरा तुमको रस्सी दिखाता हूँ. You understand problem? It's not that I'll show you some other rope. You can hold on to your snake. No, problem is what? Wherever you are seeing snake, there alone is rope. And wherever you are imagining the snake, there only you have to see the rope. Then only you get liberation from the bondage of snake and the bliss of the rope. जहां जागृत स्वप्न से अनुभव हो रहा है वही परमात्मा है. इट्स नॉट परमात्मा और एल्स है आपको ले आकर दिखा सकते हैं. Is it not? The only way is what? You have to drop the reality notion given to the snakeness, then the rope is obvious. That's why Heyani. Holding on to snake, you can't see rope. Holding on to three avasthas, you can't see the beyond. Why this is so? Because you are in a notion of seeing the snake, rope itself as snake. We are in the notion of seeing Paramatma only as the Jagra Swapna Sushruti Purusha Jiva with his world. आया बात समझ में? ये सब हमको उपनिषद पढ़ पढ़कर समझ में आना चाहिए. That is what technical words are used. In the Atma Vidya, there is Mukti. When the Atma is not known, it's called as Avidya. In that Avidya ignorance only, there is a notion or imagination of this world. When the avidya is continued, the notional imaginary world is taken as real. In that world which is taken as real, you want to conduct everything as if it is real. That's the samsara we are in. So आत्मा का अविद्या, उससे मोह हो गया, उससे जीव जगत का निर्माण हो गया, फिर ये जीव जगत में राग द्वेष काम क्रोध से फंसा है. हाउ मच इंपॉर्टेंट आर ऑल दीज थॉट्स. ये सब मिलकर वेदांत. हर एक चीज का जरूरत होता है, हर एक एक जगह पे एक एक चीज. तो हे यानी व्हाट आर दे? लौकिक आदीनि त्रीणि. इन अवर लैंग्वेज व्हाट आर दे? जागरित स्वप्न सुषुप्तानि. व्हाई दे हैव टू बी रिजेक्टेड? आत्मनि असत्वेन रज्ज्वाम सर्पवत हातव्यानि इति अर्थः. एंड ब्यूटीफुल थिंग हियर. How the rejection is done? Only one way. In the self, they are not there by coming to this conviction. This conviction only removes it. I am pausing here for you to understand because most crucial thing. सांप नहीं है बात ही सांप को निकाल देगा. सांप है मानकर कुछ भी करो सांप जाएगा ही नहीं. That's why the very subtle thoughts in Karikakara's mantra and Bhashyakara's bhashya we should be able to catch. उनकी कृपा है तभी हम पकड़ सकते हैं उसको. Like we gave thousand times that example in our earlier Bhaganas, कि unless you remove the snake, you can't see the rope. Point 1. Point 2. How do you remove the snake? Didn't we discuss it exhaustively? Can we remove the snake by pungi bajake? Can we remove the snake by taking a danda and beating it? What is to be done to remove the snake? Because only when you remove the snake, you can see the rope. Very careful रहना इसमें. I'll tell you in Hindi. कुछ भी करो, एक चीज करोगे तो स्नेक जाएगा. कुछ भी करो, एक चीज करोगे तो स्नेक जाएगा. सेकंड, कुछ भी करो, वो चीज नहीं किया तो स्नेक नहीं जाएगा, फिर रस्सी नहीं दिखेगा. Do anything but reach to that one point, the snake will go away. Do everything else, but that point is not achieved, snake will not go away. Second one, first I say. What is that? Do everything. Like call the snake, is it not? और पुंगी बजाओ, और आग दिगाओ उसको, और डंडे से मारो. Doing everything, but not done something. What is not done? That snake is real. That is not undone. Snake will never go away. On the other hand, do many things or don't do anything, but achieve one point. Ki snake is not there. Snake goes away. That is what is to be achieved. How do you send the snake away? By knowing that it is not there. That's what happens. That's what happens for a person who has seen rope as rope, snake is not there. तो परमात्मा का अस्तित्व के भाव से परमात्मा अस्थि के रूप में मिलते हैं. जगत है नास्ति के भाव में जगत चला जाता है. This is what he said. I'll read it for you. Atmani asatvena. In the pure self, they are not at all there. With this conviction, hatavyani, these three avasthas are given up. Just like Rajvam Sarpavat. How the snake is rejected on the rope? By knowing that it is not there. Just like for the snake to say it is not there, then there is no movement in that, it is not slimy. Such are the experiments you do. In the same way, what logic taught in Vaitatya, Advaita and ALAATHA Shanti are all the logics we have to see, we have to use to see to it that we are convinced about the three avasthas are not there. What is meditation is to discover the absence of three avasthas. Then the absolute presence of the self is experienced there. तीनों अवस्थाओं के पार जाना ही ध्यान है. कैसे पार जाते हैं? जानकर कि वो नहीं है. So till the absence of them is comprehended, you have to be on the meditation seat. See, the Nidra Avastha you comprehend. You don't sleep, therefore that is anyway kept aside. Jagrata Avastha you are not entering, because of the seat of meditation you are close all your senses. Now the world remains is your own the Manasika Jagat. On the seat of meditation, the Manasika Jagat also dissolved through the high level of logic. In that logic, you slowly withdraw from the world of Manovrutti Jagata, slowly reach to the Atmavastha. Once you reach there, from there when you look back, they were never there only. आपने सोचा इसलिए थे वो, आपने वैल्यू दिया इसलिए वैल्यूबल बने, आप उसमें इन्वॉल्व हो रहे थे इसलिए इन्वॉल्वमेंट हो रहा था. इसी को कहा उन्होंने there's avesha, the abhinivesha, the agraha. This is a very interesting word there all. The depth of them you understand when we are blessed by Shankara and Karika. So heyani, the three avasthas. Okay. Now hatavyani artha gneyam. What is gneyam iha? What is the meaning of gneya as used by Karikakara? Bhashakara explains gneyam iha paramartha tattvam. The Supreme Self is the only Gneya Vastu. Again, don't get confused. The Supreme Self is not as taken as Supreme Self by these Chatushkoti who have made the intellectual concepts as Asti, Nasti, Asti Nasti, Nasti Nasti. You understand that we all have discussed exhaustively. Asti, nasti, asti, nasti, nasti, nasti are the concepts. Paramatma is not a concept, it is an experience. From that experience, these all words will be understood as concepts. तो उसमें नहीं फंसना. Then at that time we studied not getting caught up in these logical conclusions, but using the statements of the Upanishads on the seat of contemplation. When one rises above three avasthas as well as these concepts, he will experience the self as it is. That paramartha vastu is gneyam. ओके, इन लेमैन्स लैंग्वेज मेरे अंदर वो परमात्मा जो कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है, मैं उसका मुझे अनुभव करना है. पहले डिजायर स्ट्रांग करते जाओ. Slowly, then it will make us focus inside so deeply that we transcend the even the meditator, the meditating. Then we become meditated. That experience will come. But before that, not a concept. It is Paramartha Tattvam. It is the second point called as Gneyam. Third one, Apyani. We will study this today a little. Apyani means Aptavyan. Means by all means of sadhana, we have to obtain these things, achieve these things. And it's a big subject. I need 1 hour to explain it. Thoda aaj, kal thoda. What is Apyani, Aptavyani? Actually, Panditya, Balya, Mauna, Akyanani, Sadhanani. These three sadhanas we have to obtain. And these three sadhanas you can never try to obtain. Even if you try, you will not obtain unless some thing before them is obtained. And what is the before thing? Tyakta bahya eshana trayena. सी पहले तीनों ऐषणाओं को छोड़कर उसके बाद भिक्षु बनकर फिर आप कोशिश करके इन तीन चीजों को पाना है. तीनों ऐषणाओं को छोड़कर भिक्षु बनकर इन तीन चीजों को पाना है. एंड व्हाट आर दीस थ्री ऐषणास? ऑल दैट विल डिस्कस टुमारो. What is the meaning of bhikshu? Little bit will understand tomorrow. Then these are the three apyani. What are the three apyani? Panditya, Balya, Maunani. What a beautiful thing. The Panditya is doubtless pakka knowledge about the truth as explained by Guru and Shastra. And that itself is the strength called as Bala. So Balasya Bhavaha Balyam. There the Balyam means the Bala. Other thing is like a child, achieve the absolute issueless, egoless innocence. Balya is that. Third is Mauna. Absolute Mauna, like a Mauna Vratadhari. Absolute vocal and manasika Mauna when you achieve it. Actually, Pandita is Jnana Marga. Balya is Bhakti Marga. Mauna is called Yoga Marga. What are the things? There are more details are there about it. Not as easy as I said. उसका और भी अंतरार्थ है, उसको हम समझेंगे. So these become आप्यानि. Aditya Balya Maunakyani Apyani, and that is done by Bhikshu, and he is a Bhikshu who is given up all the three Eshanas. Tyakta Bhahya Eshana Trayena Bhikshuna Panditya Balya Maunakyani Sadhanani, they are all Apyani. Then what is Pakyani? Pakyani means Raga Dvesha Mohadaya Doshaha Kashayakyani Paktavyani Sarvani Etani. This is after this is over. All the four are explained. Then Sarvani Etani Heya Gneya Apya Pakyani Vigneyani Bhikshuna Upayatvena Iti Arthaha Agrayanataha Pratamataha. Up to this, the explanation of first line by Bhashyakara and Bhashya. Second line, Teshamannetra Vigneyat, he will explain in the next paragraph. Then we are spending time thinking deeply more and more so that the thing deeply enters into that. See here, is shlok mein pura maine kaha na, all information knowledge is there, all the sadhana also this one only, experience also this one only. So information level we are becoming thorough. Then you do the sadhana of that information, then the experience comes. See, the literal meaning already we said first, but deeply we are understanding, helping, taking the help from Bhashyakara. What is the literal meaning? They are the four things first and foremost have to be known. The four things are Heya, Gneya, Apya, Pakya. Heya means the things which have to be given up. What are they? The three avasthas. Gneya is only Paramartha Vastu, not that which is told by the Chatushkoti. Apya is what? The qualification. The Balya Maunakyani and then Pandityani. And the Pakyani kya hai? The Raga Dveshadi Malani. First thing. Second line में among these four, the Vigneya Paramatma alone is absolute real. Then Heya, three avasthas, Apya, these Balya, Manditya, Maunakya, then Pakya, the Raga Dvesha, they are only Upalambha. They are not Satya. Literally बता दिया हमने, but उसको deeply समझना है. I'll tell you in Hindi and conclude. राग द्वेषादि नहीं है, फिर भी उसको पका पका कर फेंक देना है. बाल्य मौनाक्य पांडित्य सत्य नहीं है, लेकिन उनकी जरूरत है, इसलिए ले आओ, यूज करके उसको भी छोड़ो. तीन अवस्थाएं नहीं है, लेकिन तुम महसूस कर रहे हो, इसलिए उसको भी छोड़ो. These three are this way used, though they are not there. Though they are not there, but still used. That is called as upalambha. East, west, north, south. There are no directions in space, but they are useful. Using that, you reach wherever you want to go. Where is your uncle's house? It is left side. You go to left side and reach uncle. You have reached uncle by following left. Which is that left direction? In the space, there is no left. There is no right. There is no forward or front. You only made your body and aage dekho, right? Straight east to west. You made all that. But it worked. It worked in reaching to that place. ये व्यावहारिक काम होता है उससे. Even in spirituality, spiritual sadhana होता है. In this way, even though they are not there. Again, I am saying, राग द्वेष नहीं है, फिर भी उसको पकाकर फेंक दो. So to ये पांडित्य बाला मौन एब्सोल्यूट में नहीं है, फिर भी उसको गेन करो बिकॉज दे आर क्वालिफिकेशंस. तीन अवस्थाएं नहीं है, बट यार अनुभव कर रहे हो, इसलिए उसको छोड़ दो. नहीं है लेकिन फिर भी छोड़ो. What is the meaning of that? You have to understand it. Then what will happen? Self is realized. But we talk about all the four. Purva Pakshi caught the collar of the Siddhanti and says, तुम इनके बारे में बात कर रहे हो तो सत्य है. सत्य है तो परमात्मा के अलावा और कुछ है. और कुछ है मतलब द्वैत है. Therefore, ekamevadvayam with which you are holding on to is unproved. सिद्धांति को छोड़ता ही नहीं है पूर्व पक्षी. Any time there is a chance, he will pull him from the Advaita and says Dvaita is real. Advaita is so intelligent, He says, yeah, this purposefully it is said, not to say that Dvaita is real. I to ek paramartha alone is. And why the strength in that Advaita? Because he is in that Anubhava. He is in the Anubhava. He is in the ultimate Anubhava. Is in the correct Anubhava. All others also are in Anubhava, but not in the ultimate Anubhava and not in the correct Anubhava. Therefore, they only become attackers. Is it not? Advaita Vedanta need not attack because there is nobody other than him to attack. He only defends for the sake of them. He goes on teaching Advaita Jnanam. This Dvaiti comes in between bowling karta rehta, attack. He will defend and go ahead. Because I am experiencing it. It's very beautiful. So literal meaning is Bhashya we'll study. Half of it is done. Heya and Gneya little bit we'll touch tomorrow. Then what is Apya? What is the meaning of Panditya Bala Mauna? Little it is not much, 5-10 minutes. Then we go to the Pakya. Then the total thought. Then the answer to the question, which is said in the Bhashya. Then it takes us to the next mantra. Ki, when I spoke to you about the Gneya Vastu is Paramatma, that alone is real. All other three are not at all real, though they are useful. I am taking you to next step. The Paramatma cannot be talked as the even Gneya Vastu also. That is the next sloka. आदिबुद्धा प्रकृत्या एव सर्वे धर्मा सुनिश्चितः यस्य एवं भवति क्षा नहीं नहीं प्रकृत्याकाशवत् सर्वे धर्मानादयः विद्यते हि नानात्वं तेषां क्वचन किंचन दी श्लोक स्टाक अबाउट कि उसको आप ज्ञेय वस्तु भी नहीं कह सकते हो क्योंकि वो आप ही हो. नो दिस आर ऑल वेरी सटल कॉन्टेम्पलेशंस लॉजिकली. They themselves are making us travel away from jiva to the atma anubhava. What guidance for our understanding Karikakara and Bhashyakara are giving. Taking that understanding and guidance, when I follow, that understanding itself is taking me away from the binding not self to the realizing self. Like when a student is listening the anatomy, physiology, and pharmacology in the theory class, the time is understanding already is becoming doctor. Is it not? Because the knowledge itself is making him that person. But this knowledge is about the worldly knowledge, therefore he becomes a worldly person called as a doctor, professional. Is it not? Here the knowledge is not the world, it's about Atma. Therefore, while catching the knowledge itself, he is becoming that slowly. He is nearing to that self. That subtle possibility is there in the deep inquiry of these mantras. Very deep इंक्वायरी व्हेन यू डू वो करने के समय ही जो भी हम कोशों को पकड़े हैं, अवस्थाओं को पकड़े हैं, वो डिजॉल्व होते रहते हैं. एंड एज दे आर गेटिंग डिजॉल्व्ड द सन एसयूएन ऑफ द सेल्फ शाइन्स. See that sloka in Atmabodha. Aruneneva bodhena purva santamase vrute tata avirbhaved atma swayameva amshamaneva. Ah, beautiful mantras. It's a bhava, it's a feeling. Just like as the slowly the Aruna Udaya comes, and as you are visualizing, suddenly Aruna is becoming Surya, and both of them totally eliminated the darkness. In the same way, in the contemplative mood, when the darkness of the reality of the three avasthas, panchakoshas going away, as it happens slowly, you can see the SUN son of SCLF self is realized. Tata avirbhaved atma swayameva amshvaniva. The Atma अनुभूति. तीन अवस्थाओं को पार करो ना, फिर देखेंगे अपने आत्मा को. So beautiful, so infinite, so blissful. That realization, I am that. But that, people want to be a jiva. As a jiva only, they want to get this or that thing. Everything they are getting, but they are continuing as jiva. You understand? Anything they are getting, but they are continuing as a limited jiva. Therefore, the suffering will not end with anything you get. That is why only in the realization of our infinite self, the problems of finitude go away. Finitude is bondage. Now, same Upanishad, 20 times when you listen, then these convictions come. Not in one go. It's only information in the beginning. And 90% of our heart and mind and ego is rejecting that information first of all, because we are happy as an individual with our salaries and pensions and खाना पीना, सोना रोना धोना लेना जाना. हम उसी में खुशी हैं. हमको तो ये सब जजता ही नहीं पहले. 95% is rejected only. जल्दी क्लास खत्म हो जाए, let me become a breakfast maker and eater. That's how the life is. Clear? Tomorrow we'll see it. Now, Prakriti Akashavadgneyaha Sarve Dharmanadaya Vidyatena hi Nanatvam Tesham Kvachana Kinchana Adi Buddhaha Prakrutiyeva Sarve Dharma Sunishchitaha Yasyevam Bhavati Kshanti Somrudatvaya Kalpate Adi Shanta Yanutpannaha Prakrutiyeva Sunirvutaha Sarve Dharma Samabhinnaha Jam Samyam Visharadam Vaisharadyam Tu Vainasti Vede Vishartam Sada Veda Nimna Pradakvadaha Tasmat Tekrmanasmadaha Ajay Samya Tu Ekechit Bhavishanti Sunishchitaha तेहि लोके महाज्ञानः तच्च लोको न गाह्यते अजेष्वजम संक्रांतं धर्मेषु ज्ञानमिश्यते यतो न क्रमते ज्ञानमसंगं तेन कीर्तितम् अणुमात्रेऽपि वैधर्म्ये जायमाने विपश्चितः असंगता सदा नास्ति किमुत आवरणच्युतिः अलब्धावरणाः सर्वे धर्माः प्रकृतिनिर्मलाः आदौ बुद्धास्तदा मुक्ताः बुध्यन्ते इति नायकाः क्रमतेनै बुद्धस्य ज्ञानं धर्मेषु तायिनः सर्वे धर्मा सदा ज्ञानं नैतद्बुद्धेन भाषितं दुर्दशमत् गम्भीरमजं साम्यं विशारदं बुद्ध्वा पदमनानात्वं नमस्कुर्म यथा बलम् ओम इति गौडपादे कारिका सहित मांडुक्य उपनिषदि चतुर्थम अलाथ शांति प्रकरणम ओम 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 पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः मंडूकमहर्षिये नमः गौडपादाचार्यवर्याय आद्यशंकरद्गुरुवे अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. You can see 10 minutes. Give me time for Viduraniti.